time today. I really appreciate it.
Hey, glad to be here.
Hmm.
How's life? How's life your way?
Pretty good, pretty good. Fight week. I'm stuck at home because school's like I think virtual for all of this week, so it's been a pretty good week. What about you? Just how's everything been at Upstate Karate?
We are wide open. We're blessed. We're working hard, very busy, uh, training fighters. You know, I got Chase Hooper here with us. He's been here
Nice.
with us for about a week and a half now. Yeah, and he'll be here till the 30th. You know who Chase Hooper is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
He
So
beats I think.
so I got Chase here.
Mhm. How did you guys get in contact with him? Did he hitch you guys up, or how did he get into
Yeah,
contact?
yeah, he did.
Awesome,
Yeah,
awesome.
he hit us up after his last fight. Talked to Wonderboy, and Wonderboy invited him to come train. And he said he came in. He's been here. Let's see, how long has he been here? A week and a half, almost 2 weeks, and he'll be here till the 30th. So
Wow,
he's
that's awesome.
trying to, yeah, he's progressive, man. He's working. He works hard, makes no excuses, complains zero. Uh, he's training on our mats, so he's not used to our mats. So our mats are kind of, if you're not used to them, it'll wear the bottom of your feet out just a little bit. So first week, he got some blisters on the balls of his feet.
Hmm.
The way we move, the way we uh, uh, do our footwork, it can be a little rough on the balls of your feet. So he's suffering a little bit of that, but that's healing up pretty good. So, but he hasn't missed a workout. I got
Hmm.
the kids. Yeah, he's a young kid, great attitude. Love working with him. Really do.
Hmm. And he's definitely going to be killer. He's a specialist on the ground, and imagine if that Thompson karate background. I mean, he's going to be dangerous
Man,
in a few years for sure.
he's long. Excuse me. He catches on quick. He's a smart kid. Catches on quick. Uh, he just got all kind of great fighting attributes for a 145er. I mean, the kid's 6'1",
Hmm.
and he's thick, and he cuts that weight, and he's healthy when he does it. If if uh, if we can get him coming back regular, I think it'll really up his game, his striking game. He's
Hmm.
got some
Yeah,
things.
for sure, 100%.
Yeah, he's got some things that if he takes to some of the things that we do, oh my goodness, the 145 bracket better be, you know, they'll be put on notice because
Hmm.
his ground game is great. Yeah, but we
Gotcha.
get him moving, get some footwork going, getting them hands, getting him snapping them punches. He drives them, but he doesn't snap them. There's a difference. So get that snap going on. He'll be a much more significant fighter than he is today. So,
Hmm.
but we
Yeah, for sure.
that's all depending on how much he lives over in Washington State. So he got to go all the way across country to come train with us. But it's a good thing. Yeah, he's a good
Hmm.
kid.
Gotcha. How's the holidays for the Thompsons?
The holidays were great. We you know we work 6 days a week, 10 in the morning to 10 at night. It's what we do. When we do two, sometimes three vacations a year, mostly
Hmm.
two. Every now and then we'll do like a long weekend or something. But for the most part, we'll take 2 weeks out of the year, and we go. We go, and as a family, 8 or 10 of us at one time. We just, like this past year, we went to Disney. You know,
Hmm.
it was we went to Disney. We spent a week there, and we did everything. We vacate as hard as we work. Yeah, we vacation as hard as we work. So we assault the vacation. It,
Hmm.
it's a it's a good thing. We have a good time.
That's awesome to hear. And going into like more of your story, I want to learn how. I believe you started training in karate in 1974. You were
I
18
did.
years old, same age as me. What got you into karate out of all of the martial arts?
Well, as a kid, my inspiration for starting in karate was Elvis Presley. Believe it
Wow,
or not. Yep.
that's
As a
crazy.
kid, my mom was an Elvis fan. So if Elvis ever came on the TV, we were watching Elvis movies. So I would sit there and watch Elvis, and I'd watch this really cool guy do all this singing and get all the girls. And every now and then he had to beat up a bad guy. Well,
Yeah.
the methods that he used was this karate stuff. I said, man, look at that. That is so amazing. I got to learn that. I knew I couldn't sing. I knew I couldn't dance. You know, I wasn't pretty like Elvis. So I said, maybe I can do some of that karate stuff and maybe be a little cool like him, you know? So that was, you know, as a kid, you know, 5, 6, 7 years old, 8 years old. But when uh, I went off to military school for high school. My dad sent me to military school. He wanted me to learn some things. So during the course of my senior year, this gentleman came to our school and offered to teach karate classes. I jumped on it. March of 1974 is when I started my martial arts training. And I've been at it. And it's, like I said, God has blessed us. You know, of course, he blessed me with the ability to work hard. And I'm not afraid to work hard. And my kids, I have 5 kids. They're the same. They are not afraid to work. All my kids work. They expect no handouts. They expect to make their own way, just as I did with the you know, I'm blessed with a hardworking wife who's a serious motivator. She, you know what I'm saying? A
Yeah, I know
motivator.
what you're saying.
So there's no rest. If it's working hours, you working. So, but I love it. I love what I do. Uh, I'm, you know, I got here this morning, 9:30, and I won't leave the night till after 10 o'clock. And I
Wow.
do this every day. Yeah. It's what I do.
So
That's it.
9 to 10 every day?
Yep. Every day
Wow.
except Sunday, 6 days a
Oh,
week.
gotcha.
Now Saturday's a little bit of a shorter day. I'll get there at, I get there 8 o'clock Saturday mornings, and I'll leave probably 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock's a short day for me. Sunday we chill. We at church on Sunday, church
Hmm.
and doing family dinner. So
Awesome, awesome.
yeah.
And going back to that story, I have to ask, what's your favorite Elvis song?
Oh man, well, my favorite Elvis song today. It changes occasionally. It's called "Love Letters." It's not.
Nice.
It's not a hit song. But it's a, it's a. Look it up. It's a pretty cool song. It's kind
Hmm.
of slow, but it's about love. You know, "Love Letters" is a pretty cool song. I love it. Good. Now
Awesome.
he's got some really fast action songs. You know, some dancing, moving songs, but
Hmm.
one that
Jailhouse Rock
touches.
is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, man. There's so many. But something that tugs on my heartstring a little bit. "Love Letters" is that song.
Hmm. And looking at your resume, you have a toughest man, I think, in South Carolina. I have to ask you,
Oh,
how did you get that title?
okay. So back in 1980, there was a promoter came out of Atlanta. I think this was before South Carolina officially had an athletic commission.
Hmm.
Some states still don't have athletic commissions, but I think Wyoming is one of those states, or either that, or I don't know. But anyway, I don't think we officially had an athletic commission at the time. So a promoter out of Atlanta wanted to promote this unique event, and it
Hmm.
was essentially no rules. It was stand up to the ground. The on- Now, well, it had about 3 rules. One rule is that you couldn't kick straight up between the legs. You can
Hmm.
kick straight into the groin. You can kick straight in, but you couldn't kick up. You couldn't bite. You couldn't eye gouge. We had boxing gloves. We didn't have MMA gloves. They weren't even invented back then. We had
Hmm.
boxing gloves that we used, so you couldn't eye gouge, and you couldn't hit straight into the throat.
Hmm.
But you can hit everywhere else.
So like
Oh,
early UFC one rules, basically, kind of, right?
it was crazy. You could kick the knees at any angle,
Wow.
straight on, to the side. They did have one ground rule. You can do anything on the ground. You can stomp, but you only had
Wow.
10 seconds to do it. 10
Okay.
seconds on the ground, referee stood you back up and you went back at it. So, and it was one weight class, 165 and up. I had to fight the lightest guy in the tournament. He was
Hmm.
165 pounds. And I had to fight the heaviest guy in the tournament, who was 340 pounds. And I even fought the
Wow.
tallest guy in the tournament. He was like 6'6" or 6'7", this massive dude. But it was a 2-day event. You fought once on Friday, and I fought 4 times on Saturday. 4
Wow.
times, and I ended up
Legend.
actually having to fight the smallest. They made 2 brackets, the bigger guys and the smaller guys.
Hmm.
So I was put in the bigger bracket. I was one of the smaller big guys. I was about 220-ish, somewhere between 215 and 220. But I fought guys 260, 340, and then on my final fight, I had to fight the smallest guy in the division. He was a professional boxer. I think he's a pro
Hmm.
boxer. I'm not sure, but I know he's a boxer. I don't know if he's an amateur or pro. But anyway, I had to fight him, and I ended up choking him out with a rear naked choke. Yeah,
Wow. You were
and
practicing mixed martial arts before it was even a thing. Wow, that's legendary.
yeah, I've been doing ground since the '70s. Not very good at it, but that's
Hmm.
I've been studying it. So I was fortunate enough to win that tournament, which was what 80. That's what 41 years ago. Can you imagine?
Hmm.
Wow, doesn't seem like 1980 is 40 years ago. But anyway, nonetheless, that's how that happened. Yeah. So I was in my
Gotcha.
I was in my mid to late 20s at the time. I've survived that, thank goodness. After it was all over, I'm thinking, what did I just do? Why did I do that? That's crazy. I could have got hurt so bad, but anyway, it was a good event. I learned a lot of things. I learned a lot of things about what I didn't know, and one of the UFC came in around 92 or 3. I can't remember exactly. I want to say
Hmm.
93.
Yeah.
And these Brazilian guys came out of nowhere and started just dusting everybody. These
Hmm.
jiu-jitsu guys. And I'm thinking, wow, look at that. That's amazing. I'm a staunch karate guy. That's what I do. I love the striking arts. I love the karate arts, but
Hmm.
that's my favorite. Obviously, you can see that you know, when I train my guys, Wonderboy especially. We're a striking school, but
Hmm.
I see the need. I see the need in ground training. I see the need in wrestling. I mean, if you're going to be a complete martial artist, if you're going to be a complete mixed martial arts athlete, if you stay with your specific style, you're not going to last long at all. You gotta open up that toolbox and get new information. Grab jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo, boxing. You got to cover the whole plethora of fighting styles and pick out what works for you. What works for some people doesn't work well for the others. So you just got to get
Hmm.
out there and you need to do it early, as quickly as you can in your fight career. You need to choose what works best for you, your body type, your style, your thinking, and then take that and just work on it until you can't screw it up. That's
Hmm.
kind of what that's the philosophy I try to you know teach my fighters. You can have all
Gotcha.
these, you can know a lot of stuff, but if you can't do any of it well, you know it's useless. So it doesn't matter if they're a fighter, a competitive athlete, or if it's a recreational martial artist. We got moms and dads, we got doctors, we got lawyers, we got Indian chiefs, we got everybody training with us. I try to instill that same mentality with them in the event they're in a self-defense situation. Their skills need to be sharp. They need to be good. They need to be on point so that they can handle whatever situation that might come to them.
Mm-hmm. And I guess going back to the 80s, karate hit the big screen in the 80s with Karate Kid in 1984. Did you watch it in theaters, and what did you think of the movies?
Uh, actually, they were. I honestly, I enjoyed them. I enjoyed the Karate Kid was the movie. Karate Kid was more about internal development,
Mm-hmm.
you know, than it was about all these real cool karate moves, which I appreciate that. Karate's cool, and you can do all these really fancy moves and stuff, and a lot of your action flicks are based on really cool stuff, spinning and jumping and so on and so forth. But when you get a movie or a couple of movies that deals with some cool karate moves plus the development of the heart of the person himself on the inside,
Mm-hmm.
that's huge. That's what martial arts is about, really. It's really about learning the skills, developing skills to the level that your confidence elevates to the point to where you feel good about yourself because you have skills, your skills are sharp, and that when you walk into a room and you have this certain level of confidence about you because of your skill set, because it is, ready to go, then everybody in the room kind of knows it. You know what I'm saying? They kind of get that vibe. Everybody gives off a vibe. You give off a vibe of whether or not you have skills or whether you don't. If you're skillless, if your confidence levels are low because you don't have the skills to protect yourself, that's a basic desire. It's not, it's a basic desire to be able to protect yourself, keep yourself safe. So if you don't have those skills, well, guess what? Everybody in the room knows it too because your confidence level is low. You can fake it for a little bit. But for the most part, the bad guy, they read you. They look and they say, okay, there's the victim. Oh, there's not. Let's stay away from him. Let's go over here where it's going to be easy. Let's get this one. So that's kind of the philosophy that I try to instill in all my students, whether they're a competitive athlete or whether they're a recreational martial artist. Kids too. We got tons of kids. I got tons of adults. I got bunches of adults that train with us. So.
Mm-hmm. And you've earned like a multitude of different nicknames throughout your career as a fighter and as a coach. One being the Master of Disaster. I think the French people called you that. And
Oh,
then you have Wonder Dad. What are some other nicknames you've picked up around the years?
well, for the most part, and I don't guess you really call it the nickname, but all my students call me Mr. T. My boys call me Pops. And so, nowadays I'm getting people that I hardly know calling me Pops because my sons call me Pops all the time. I've been called some bad names over the years. Sometimes you don't make people happy. They expect you at this belt or this rank, and they expect to get that because they deserve it. And occasionally they'll not get what they want because they think they deserve it. And sometimes they'll get mad at me and call me names and stuff. But for the most part, Master of Disaster, Mr. T, toughest man in South Carolina. That's about it. Yeah. And but it's it's all good, right? We're having fun.
Awesome. And I definitely want to talk about the last fight of 2020, which was your son versus hard-hitting Jeff Neal. I want to say congratulations to you guys
Thank you.
on that win. It was a great win. Do you think that might be the most like perfect showcase of skills that Wonderboy has shown inside the octagon?
I think you hit the nail on the head right then. I don't know that Wonderboy's ever performed that much evasiveness, footwork, uh, fight IQ. He's had some good fights, and he
Hmm.
smokes people really quick. But excuse me, but he had to really dig deep into his toolbox and work angles and head movement and body positioning and striking in the process. Yeah, I don't think he's. And funny you say that. I'm glad you noticed it, but I don't think he's ever performed to that level in any of his fights, even his
Hmm.
5 rounders with Woodley. He didn't do. He wasn't in any of his other fights. He didn't have to, I guess, perform to that level. But Jeff Neal's he's a stud, and Jeff Neal made WB. I call him WB. Made WB open up that toolbox and pull out some footwork that and head movement and striking on the move and striking in the clinch, and he made WB uh, open it up and perform to probably the highest level I think I've seen him perform.
Hmm.
And he's
For
had
sure.
almost what WB's had almost 80 fights.
Wow.
Talking about kickboxing and everything combined. He had 57 kickboxing matches, and I think he's 77. He's up to, I think this might have been his 78th fight, I believe. I'm not sure. I have to add them up. But anyway, so I've seen a lot of it. I've been to all of his fights. I've not missed a single one of his fights. I've been in his corner from day one. So WB really had to showcase, had to bring out, open up, use a whole bunch of skills that he has.
Hmm. And like with his next fight, I think Jorge NMF versus BMF would be my ideal matchup, in my opinion. But I think everybody wants to fight Jorge. Colby Covington, now Michael Chiesa. You know, who do you think WB should fight next if it's not Jorge?
Jet, uh, crud.
Because I think like Leon Edwards would be
Leon
cool.
Edwards. Leon
Yeah,
Edwards.
if Chimaev
We've been
wasn't in
calling
there.
him out for a while, but
Hmm.
Leon's running scared. He don't want to fight with WB.
Yeah, why do you think? Because he said that he was complaining that how he hasn't had a fight, that nobody wants to fight him, and then WB, puts out a tweet, and then he just says,
Silent.
"Hey, man, like screw you, I'm not fighting you." Like, what's your response to Leon Edwards being evasive like that?
Well, I think Leon knows. He can't handle WB's skill set. He knows it. He's running. He wants to stay in the number 3 slot. He wants to move. He wants to fight forward, when I say fight forward, fight toward the number 1 spot, which I don't blame him. I don't blame him a bit. But when you get somebody call you, when you're getting out there and you're running your mouth and you're telling everybody nobody wants to fight him, and the second somebody steps up, I'll fight you, and then
Hmm.
crickets, or I'm not fighting you. You're running your mouth telling everybody how you want to. Nobody will fight you. Everybody's scared. And then, then you get somebody step in there and say, "Yeah, okay, let's do it." And then all of a sudden, now you hiding again. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So,
for sure.
and now he's fighting Hamzat, who's had one welterweight fight in UFC, one welterweight fight, and he's ranked number 15 or something like that, 14 to 15. I don't know where he's ranked.
Yeah.
Now he's fighting Hamzat, but he wouldn't fight number 5. He'll fight number 15. So, but anyway, you know, and in his defense, this is a game. The
Hmm.
Not just the fighting. I mean, there's that part. That's what people pay to see. Excuse me. But these athletes, these fighters, got to kind of play the game to get to these higher spots.
Hmm.
Today, your fighting skill set alone is not enough to get you the big get you moved toward the title.
Yeah.
You got to get out there and you got to play the game outside of the octagon, talking junk, talking to this, calling this guy out, excuse me, running your mouth. All these things create hype, and all these things sell fights. And unfortunately, fortunately, some guys are better at it than others. Leon's just not that good at it. You know what I'm saying? He's not,
Yeah.
and neither is Steven. Steven's not that good at it either. He's not good at running his mouth and calling people out. If I were Steven, if he were me, if I was his age, I'd be talking junk. I'd be talking trash. I wouldn't do it disrespectfully, but I would make people want to fight me or you know what I'm saying? I would. I'm not about being disrespectful. It's not what we adhere to in the martial arts, and I try to teach basic philosophies, being modesty, courtesy, integrity, self-control, perseverance, dominable spirit. These are our black belt principles that we try to instill in our students, kids and adults, kids, teens, and adults. You know, adults, you know, they need to be reminded that being respectful is not a bad thing. So, me being the old guy, I can talk to my younger adults and encourage them to be courteous. And you know, somebody cuts you off on the highway, don't cuss them out, flip them off, and stuff like that. Though I'm guilty of doing it, I've done it, you know, in the past. But I try to refrain from doing those things. I try to live. Though I fail sometimes. I try to live what I teach or preach. I don't like to use the word preach, but like teach my students. So as a fighter, I would definitely, I'd definitely do this because I know you got to kind of sell yourself just a little bit more than just with your skill set. So I'd definitely be doing that. And I'm trying to encourage Steven to do that a little bit more, but he's just not good at talking junk. He's too sweet. He really is. He's the guy you see on the camera, the guy you see in the octagon. That's exactly him. He's not putting on any airs. He's as sweet as he can be. He'll punch you in the face, kick you in the head. He can take you down. He's got ground skills. People don't think he does. He's been doing grappling all his life, so he's got ground skills. But his thing is striking. He's good at that, and that's what he likes to do. So we worked real hard to, keeping his skill set such that he can defend takedowns, get back to his feet. But getting him to talk his game up a little bit, it's been a real challenge for me as dad, head coach. So.
When is Team Thompson looking to return in 2021?
Well, during his last fight, he got 2 injuries. They both were pretty much self-sustained. So he got the headbutt, and he got a nice cut. That's healed up pretty good. Of course, it'll take it probably 6 months before it heals solid. But he got the thigh injury. He didn't get a knee injury. We thought it was a knee injury, but it wasn't. He injured his right thigh when he did that knee. He did a jumping knee strike and hit Neil in the body, but Neil, he got his arms up and Steven's thigh hit the point of Neil's elbow and moused up real big. So all we got to do now is he's had an MRI done on it. The UFC doctor read the MRI and said it doesn't look like there's any real damage, but I'm not an orthopedic, so I need him to go to see an orthopedic and let the orthopedic look at the MRI and look at Steven and sign off and say he's good to go. But Steven, he's training. He's training. He's been training. But before he can officially fight, before the UFC will put him on a card, it's got to be okay. Some orthopedic doctor has got to say he's good. So we just got to do that. Got to jump through some hoops to get him back in the fight roster.
Gotcha. And you can probably see this question coming from a mile away, but as a striking specialist, who do you take between McGregor and Poirier this weekend?
Well, McGregor's the sniper. McGregor, in my book, he's the sniper. He's going to be shooting long. He's going to be shooting accurate. Poirier is the bull. he comes in throwing heat. If McGregor, if his sniping skills are off, I think Poirier is going to crush him. But now on the flip side, McGregor's sharp, he's accurate. If he's on his game, and Poirier comes in, if he plods in, I think McGregor will snipe him. But honestly, I think Poirier is going to put him on the fence and just hammer him. That's what I think is going to happen. Poirier's going to put him on the fence and hammer him. He's a different animal than he was when they first fought.
Mm-hmm.
Poirier's a different animal since then. I'm not sure where McGregor's skill set is at this point, because it has been a while since he's fought. He hasn't fought much. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's living the Mac life. And so, but he's not stupid. He's not a stupid guy. He's a pretty smart guy. You see where he's at. He didn't get where he's at because he's stupid. When you get the opportunity of never having a single boxing match in your life, and you get to fight arguably the best boxer that's ever put on gloves in your first boxing match, you're a pretty smart fella. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. So you've won, it's like you've won no matter what, because no matter if you win or lose that boxing match, you've still made a lot of money. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah. But even outside the money, just doing what it took to get to where you get to step in the ring with Floyd Mayweather. You have to do something special. Money is the drive. I get that. But nobody else has ever done that. You know what I'm saying? That's never had a boxing match. That has the lack of boxing record that McGregor's got. So you got to give the guy props. And I'm sure, I have no doubt in my mind that whole setup came out of McGregor's head. You know what I'm saying? He said, you know what? I'm going to fight Mayweather. Let me see what I can do to make this happen. So he started doing his thing. He started, started his process, talking whatever, saying whatever he needed to say. And guess what? This guy gets to fight arguably the best boxer that ever put on boxing gloves, Mayweather. So you got to give him props there. I knew there was no way McGregor was going to beat Mayweather. Not a chance. I mean, I don't even think there was even a puncher's chance. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Floyd
Mayweather was so far out there, so far ahead. I think Floyd carried him 4 or 5 rounds and decided to just get it over with, put on a little bit of show so he can earn his $300 million and McGregor can earn his $99 million, and then they go home and all said and, and everything's happy. But anyway, I think give both those guys props for doing a pretty awesome business deal. Now, the people that paid for that, they didn't pay for a legit, authentic, competitive boxing match. You know what I'm saying? Of course, that's my opinion. What do I know? So.
Gotcha. And I think that's all the questions I have. I just wanted to thank you so much for your time. And I hope everything's going good at Upstate Karate. Do you want to say anything to your students or family watching?
Well, listen, I really appreciate the opportunity to come on here with you. I like your IG page. You keep it going. You're doing an excellent job. Where are you located, by the way?
I'm from Texas.
Texas. Oh yeah, good for you. Not a bad place to be. Texas is an awesome state. I got family in Texas. Yeah.
Awesome.
But anyway, all my people out there, appreciate y'all supporting my guy here, and let's just keep your eyes open. And all these MMA fighters that get out there and work their behinds off, kickboxers, boxers, jiu-jitsu fighters, all these guys get out there and work their behinds off so that you can enjoy the fight sports. You need to show them some love, give them some props, follow them, and just let them know how much you appreciate them. Because the fight world's a lonely world. It's lonely and it's dirty. It's a rough lifestyle. So,
I gotcha. Thanks, Ray. Appreciate you, and God bless.
thank you. Talk to you soon.